Okay, I'm going to record this. It's about maybe 7-8 minutes long. I'm recording this for my sister Pam and her daughter Stephanie. I recorded this back in, I think, 2007, when I still had cable TV, because it's HGTV. Because I know I didn't record it later, because, well, in 2009 I didn't have, it was when the digital came in, and I was using an antenna, so I wouldn't have had cable anymore. So this must have been around 2007. I'm telling you that in case you wanted to try and look it up and get the whole video. Alright, I'm trying to keep it as short as possible because I'm going to upload it to YouTube. It takes forever on my phone data, because this is my phone I'm using.
Compost. Compost, that incredible byproduct of decomposed organic matter, can do more to enhance the health of your plants than anything else. And whether store-bought or homemade, compost contains everything plants need to grow. Essential organic matter, macronutrients and micronutrients, beneficial fungi and bacteria, microbes of all kinds, even disease-fighting organisms. When incorporated into the soil by gentle turning or applied around the base of plants or tossed onto the lawn, compost completely eliminates the need for commercial fertilizers. And when applied as compost tea, a simple brew made from compost and water and sprayed directly on leaf surfaces, the results can be even more dramatic. And if you make it yourself, it's free. Stop fertilizing. Oh, I can just hear you now. Stop fertilizing? Paul, have you lost your mind? Well, let me ask you something. Why is it that so many gardeners feel the need to force their plants to grow faster than nature intended them to grow? Fertilizers, especially the synthetic quick-release forms, are the junk food of the plant world. No, they're actually worse than that. They're more like anabolic steroids for plants. No, they're even worse than that. They're the equivalent of horticultural heroine that turns plants into botanical junkies in need of a fix every few weeks. Not only do they cause plants to grow at an unnatural rate, synthetic fertilizers also destroy many of the beneficial microorganisms that contribute to healthy soil. And since they don't contain any organic matter, they don't improve the soil. On the contrary, they ultimately destroy it. And as if all that weren't bad enough, most synthetic fertilizers are made from non-renewable energy sources, in particular, natural gas. So-called natural or organic fertilizers, which are made from materials that might otherwise wind up in the trash stream, are much better for plants and the environment. They include such things as blood and bone meal, green sand, biomass solids, and so on. If you're not sure whether a product is organic or synthetic, just read the label. Or add up the NPK numbers. If the sum is less than 15, chances are it's an organic product. But again, you don't need any supplemental fertilizer, organic or synthetic, if you use good old compost. Stop using pesticides. In the case of synthetic pesticides in particular, which includes insecticides, fungicides, and herbicides, the risk to the planet, not to mention all its inhabitants, far outweighs the need for those products. In the U.S. alone, gardeners apply nearly 100 million pounds of pesticides a year to their lawns and gardens. And over 40% of the chemicals found in them are banned in other countries. Moreover, many of those chemicals have been linked to all sorts of serious health problems. The good news is that for every synthetic chemical control, there's an all-natural, environmentally friendly alternative. For insects, for weeds, even for fungal diseases. And given a choice, wouldn't you rather create a yard that's a safe playground rather than a chemical dumping ground? But don't get carried away even with all-natural pesticides. Many of them, such as garlic oil, are non-selective, meaning they destroy both pests and beneficial insects. So rather than spray away, try to target the pest with a specific control. For soft-bodied insects, such as aphids and red spider mites, use a strong blast of water from the hose or insecticidal soap. For nearly all other pests, try neem oil. And for those really tough to control critters like squash bugs, use a formulation containing pyrethrum, which is made from the chrysanthemum flower, and it's got great knockdown power. For weed control in garden beds, use mulch. And in the lawn, go with good old hand pulling. For weeds and pavement cracks, boiling water works wonders. And for the vast majority of fungal diseases, you can rely on a solution made from baking soda, horticultural oil, and water. Use the oil all by itself. Use sulfur, even milk. Yeah, milk. Whole milk, 2%, whatever. And don't forget to feed the birds. If you make your yard bird-friendly, they'll respond by preying on all kinds of bugs that might otherwise prey on your plants. Looks like I need to feed my birds now. Water efficiently. Please, please use water intelligently and efficiently. It's a precious resource, and it's becoming more scarce every year. So don't waste water. Water early in the morning to reduce losses due to evaporation. Avoid watering on windy days for the same reason. Deep soak each time you water, but watch for runoff. Switch to drip irrigation. Collect rainwater whenever and wherever you can. Water only when plants need water, and again, mulch like crazy to retain soil moisture. So do I really practice what I preach? Well, to the extent that it's practical, yes. Okay, so I use a blower maybe once a week, but come on, raking 2 acres wouldn't be practical. Still, my approach to gardening is about as natural as it gets because it mimics nature in every possible way. And that's about as green as it gets. Next, visit an authentic Jap.
Okay. Well, I am gonna, I paused it, so I'm going to shut it off. Like I said, if you wanted to look this up, you might be able to find it. Paul James is a master gardener, by the way, and Lowe's is the company that was their biggest sponsor for this show when it was on. Just in the sake of full disclosure. He gave a lot of good advice. You know, I'm a master gardener with the Santa Rosa County Master Gardeners here in Florida. And I'm no expert by any means, but the thing I learned in my Master Gardener training was how to look things up, where to look, where to look them up. So I may not know the answers, but I know how to look up university-based, scientific, evidence research, because that's what university research-based information is. And that's what the Master Gardeners help the county extension agents get out to the public. So I guess you could call this a public service announcement. It's a good time of the year because right now it's March the 14th, 2018 when I made this. Bye. Yeah, I should have said happy gardening.